History abounds with tales of courage, resilience, and faith, and few stories embody these virtues more than the saga of the Waldensians. Long before the Protestant Reformation, this group emerged in medieval Europe as a symbol of conviction, standing firm in their beliefs despite relentless persecution. Their remarkable journey, rooted in simplicity and devotion, began with a wealthy merchant and evolved into a movement that has inspired generations with its steadfast spirit. Peter Waldo's revolutionary choice. The Waldensian story begins in 1173 with Peter Waldo, a wealthy merchant from Lyon, France. Waldo's life changed dramatically when he chose to forsake his riches and dedicate himself to a life of poverty and preaching. Deeply moved by the teachings of Jesus and the apostles, he sought to revive what he saw as the pure essence of Christianity, free from the materialism that had infiltrated the church. Waldo's decision was sparked by a personal crisis following the sudden death of a friend, which led him to reflect on the transient nature of wealth and worldly success. Determined to make Scripture accessible, Waldo financed the translation of the New Testament into the local language, enabling ordinary people to engage with the gospel directly. This initiative marked one of the earliest efforts to democratize religious knowledge, which was traditionally confined to Latin and accessible only to clergy. Waldo's bold move challenged the church's authority and set the stage for his followers, known as the Poor of Lyon, to embark on a path of reform that would resonate through the centuries. A clash with the Catholic Church. Initially, Waldo sought the Church's endorsement for his movement. In 1179, he and his followers presented their beliefs to Pope Alexander II during the Third Lateran Council. While their emphasis on poverty was appreciated, their rejection of church hierarchy and lay preaching was not. The Church viewed their actions as a direct challenge to its authority. Waldo's emphasis on preaching in the vernacular further alarmed church leaders, as it threatened their control over religious teachings. By 1184, the Waldensians were excommunicated and labeled heretics. Expelled from Lyon, they faced relentless opposition, but their movement continued to spread across Europe. In places like northern Italy, Germany, and parts of Spain, their message resonated with disenfranchised populations, yearning for a more personal and authentic connection to their faith. The Church's condemnation only fueled their determination, as the Waldensians' defiance became a rallying cry for reform-minded Christians disillusioned by the opulence and corruption within the Church. Defiant beliefs and practices. The Waldensians' beliefs were revolutionary for their time. Rejecting purgatory, relics, and elaborate rituals, they embraced a form of Christianity rooted in humility and sincerity. For them, it wasn't the rituals but the earnestness of prayer that mattered. They boldly dismissed holy water as no different from rainwater, directly challenging the Church's traditions. The Waldensians' radical interpretation of Christianity extended to their critique of indulgences, a practice that allowed the wealthy to buy forgiveness for their sins. They argued that salvation could not be purchased, but was a gift from God accessible to all believers. A cornerstone of their faith was the priesthood of all believers, the idea that any faithful individual could fulfill the role of a priest. This was a direct threat to the established church hierarchy, which relied on clear distinctions between clergy and laity. The Waldensians' commitment to humility and rejection of wealth among preachers further emphasized their challenge to existing power structures. Their communities operated on principles of mutual support and equality, which appealed to marginalized groups and created a sense of solidarity among their followers. Persecution and survival. By 1215, the Waldensians were formally condemned at the Fourth Lateran Council, and waves of persecution followed. Forced into secrecy, they relied on traveling preachers, known as barbs, who disguised themselves as tradesmen to evade detection. These barbs nurtured the faith of small, clandestine communities, keeping the Waldensian spirit alive despite constant danger. Meeting in remote locations such as mountain caves and hidden valleys, the Waldensians developed a network of underground worship that sustained their movement for centuries. Their resilience is captured in writings like La Noble Laidon, The Noble Lesson, a poem that encapsulates their beliefs and struggles. Written in the Old Occitan language, it served as both spiritual guidance and a source of unity for the Waldensians. The poem's vivid descriptions of hardship and unwavering faith highlight the community's enduring spirit, offering insight into how they preserved their identity under relentless pressure. Despite the risks, their message continued to spread, inspiring others to question the established order and seek reform. Joining the Protestant Reformation. The Protestant Reformation of the 16th century provided the Waldensians with a new path. In 1532, they officially aligned with the Calvinist tradition, finding common ground with Protestant reformers like Heinrich Bullinger. This alliance strengthened their movement, giving them new allies and a broader platform to share their vision. The Reformation's emphasis on Scripture, personal faith, and rejection of church excesses resonated deeply with the Waldensians, who had long championed similar ideals. Despite aligning with Protestant doctrines, the Waldensians retained their focus on simplicity and authenticity. They rejected practices like pilgrimages and relic veneration, staying true to their original principles. Their willingness to adapt while preserving their core values allowed them to navigate the complexities of the Reformation era. This alignment also provided them with greater protection, as their association with larger Protestant networks offered a measure of security against persecution. The Waldensians' integration into the broader Protestant movement marked a new chapter in their history, ensuring their survival and influence in the modern era. Facing brutality in the 17th century. The 17th century marked one of the darkest periods in Waldensian history. In 1685, King Louis XIV of France revoked the Edict of Nantes, stripping Protestants of their religious freedoms. Many Waldensians in the Chisone and Susa valleys faced an ultimatum: convert to Catholicism or flee. Thousands chose exile, enduring immense suffering as they sought refuge. Those who stayed were often subjected to forced conversions, imprisonment, or execution. In the Piedmont region, Duke Victor Amadeus I ordered the destruction of Waldensian churches in 1686. The Waldensians responded with fierce resistance, displaying remarkable courage despite being outnumbered. Their defiance became a symbol of their unwavering commitment to their faith. The massacres and expulsions of this era decimated their communities, but their stories of resilience inspired sympathy and support from Protestant nations, particularly in Northern Europe. This international attention eventually led to diplomatic interventions that helped secure their survival. The Glorious Return. The Waldensians' resilience culminated in 1689 with the Glorious Return, led by Pastor Henry Arnaud. With support from European allies, around 1,000 Waldensians embarked on a perilous journey to reclaim their homeland in the Piedmont. Despite facing immense challenges, their determination and modern weaponry allowed them to achieve a stunning victory. The journey involved crossing the treacherous Alps, enduring harsh weather, and battling Catholic forces along the way. Though many perished, those who survived managed to restore their communities and expel Catholic settlers. This incredible feat highlighted their strategic ingenuity and unwavering faith. The Glorious Return is remembered as one of the most dramatic episodes in their history, symbolizing their refusal to surrender their beliefs. The aftermath saw a fragile peace, but the Waldensians' determination to preserve their faith and way of life remained steadfast, ensuring their legacy as a community that triumphed against overwhelming odds. Embracing freedom and a new era. The French Revolution brought a turning point for the Waldensians as new ideals of liberty and equality emerged. In 1848, King Charles Albert of Sardinia granted them civil rights, allowing them to leave their secluded valleys and integrate into broader society. This newfound freedom marked the beginning of a period of renewal and expansion for the Waldensians. With their legal rights restored, they built schools, churches, and social institutions that reflected their values of education and service. The Waldensians also began missionary work, spreading their faith to South America, the United States, and beyond. Their commitment to social justice and community service became hallmarks of their identity, shaping their role within modern Protestantism. The ability to adapt to new circumstances while staying true to their principles ensured their continued relevance in an ever-changing world. Their enduring legacy serves as a testament to their courage, vision, and unwavering dedication to faith and justice. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this journey through their remarkable history, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more captivating tales. Share your thoughts in the comments. What aspect of their story resonates most with you? Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring history.